Countdown Till Christmas is brought to you by Princess Grams. Personalized, magical, musical greetings from your favorite characters. Learn more and send one at princessgrams.com. Hello again. It's always so lovely to see you. And I'm excited to sing, share a story, and decorate together. And why don't we find out what is in our Advent calendar for today, December 13th. Oh my! Look at this! This is a goat, but it's not just any goat. You're curious too? What do you think? Well, this is a Yule goat. And in Sweden, a Yule goat is usually a straw ornament. Uh-oh, bye Sasha. Well, in Sweden, a Yule goat is usually a straw ornament that guards the house and the Christmas tree. And some of them are very big. In the town of Gävle, at the start of Advent, they build a straw goat that's over 40 feet, that's 13 meters high. That's as tall as a 4-story building. Well, where do you think we should put our Yule goat? How about this spot? As in Germany, Swedish people have their biggest celebration on Christmas Eve. That's when Jultomte, who brings the gifts, comes. He's kind of like Santa Claus, but he is a Christmas gnome. Well, if you would like to say Merry Christmas in Swedish, you would say God Jul. Now that's pretty close to English. Would you like to try that with me? It's almost like saying good, but adding a y. Good. Sort of like fjord also. Good. And then Jul, like a Yule log. God Jul. God Jul. Nice job. There's another special celebration in Sweden that happens today, December 13th, and that is Santa Lucia's Day. Lucia lived many, many years ago in Sicily during a time when the Christian religion was not allowed. She used to bring food to Christians who were hiding in the catacombs. Those are underground tombs. To keep her hands free so she could carry the food, she wore candles on her head to light her way. Well, today, Swedish people still celebrate this with a girl chosen to portray Sankta Lucia and a procession around the school or town. Sankta Lucia wears a white dress, a red sash, and a crown with real candles. I think that would be really fun to be part of. Well, the Swedes have a very long Christmas season. They celebrate through January 13th, a month after Sankta Lucia and 20 days after Christmas. The last day of Christmas is when the tree is taken down and all the leftover Christmas sweets are eaten. Well, I'm glad we're still early in the Christmas season. And why don't we continue our celebrations today by singing the song we've been working on the last 2 days, O Christmas Tree. And as a reminder, the lyrics are, O Christmas tree, how lovely are thy branches. Not only green when summer's here, but in the coldest time of year. Oh, Christmas tree. Well, would you like to sing that with me 2 times? Dun dum. Oh, Christmas tree, how lovely are thy branches. Oh, Christmas tree, how lovely are thy branches. Not only green when summer's here, but in the coldest time of year. Oh, Christmas tree, how lovely are thy branches. Another time. O Christmas tree, how lovely are thy branches. O Christmas tree, how lovely are thy branches. Not only green when summer's here, but in the coldest time of year. O Christmas tree, how lovely are thy branches. That was beautiful. Thank you so much for singing with me. Tomorrow we'll move on to something else, but for now, it's time for our story of the day. It's called Christmas in the Barn by F. Arnstein. If you'd like to follow along or read our stories on your own, you can find them and all of the illustrations collected in my book, Treasury of 10-Minute Christmas Tales. That's available through my website, ashleyWagnerArts.com/Christmas. And you can receive a free story when you sign up for my email list. Only 2 more days and Christmas would be here. It had been snowing hard, and Johnny was standing at the window, looking at the soft white snow which covered the ground 1/2 foot deep. Presently he heard the noise of wheels coming up the road, and a wagon turned in at the gate and came past the window. Johnny was very curious to know what the wagon could be bringing. He pressed his little nose close to the cold window pane, and to his great surprise saw 2 large Christmas trees. Johnny wondered why there were 2 trees, and turned quickly to run and tell Mama all about it. But then remembered that Mama was not at home. She had gone to the city to buy some Christmas presents and would not return until quite late. Johnny began to feel that his toes and fingers had grown quite cold from standing at the window so long. So he drew his own little chair up to the cheerful grate fire and sat there quietly thinking. Pussy, who had been curled up like a little bundle of wool in the very warmest corner, jumped up and, going to Johnny, rubbed her head against his knee to attract his attention. He patted her gently and began to talk to her about what was in his thoughts. He had been puzzling over the 2 trees which had come, and at last he had made up his mind about them. "I know, Pussy," he said, "why there are 2 trees. This morning when I kissed Papa goodbye at the gate, he said he was going to buy one for me, and Mama, who was busy in the house, did not hear him say so, and I am sure she must have bought the other. But what shall we do with 2 Christmas trees?" Pussy jumped into his lap and purred and purred. A plan suddenly flashed into Johnny's mind. "Would you like to have one, Pussy?" Pussy purred more loudly, and it seemed almost as though she had said yes. "Oh, I will, if Mama will let me. I'll have a Christmas tree out in the barn for you, Pussy, and for all the pets. And then you'll all be as happy as I shall be with my tree in the parlor." By this time it had grown quite late. There was a ring at the doorbell, and quick as a flash, Johnny ran with a happy, smiling face to meet Papa and Mama and to give them each a loving kiss. During the evening he told them all that he had done that day, and also about the 2 big trees which the man had brought. It was just as Johnny had thought. Papa and Mama had each bought one, and as it was so near Christmas, they thought they would not send either of them back. Johnny was very glad of this, and told them of his happy plan he had made, and asked if he might have the extra tree. Papa and Mama smiled a little as Johnny explained his plan, but they said he might have the tree, and Johnny went to bed feeling very happy. That night his papa fastened the tree into a block of wood so that it would stand firmly, and then set it in the middle of the barn floor. The next day, when Johnny had finished his lessons, he went to the kitchen and asked Annie, the cook, if she would save the bones and potato parings and all the other leavings from the day's meal and give them to him the following morning. He also begged her to give him several cupfuls of salt and cornmeal, which she did, putting them in paper bags for him. Then she gave him the dishes he asked for, a few chipped ones not good enough to be used at table, and an old wooden bowl. Annie wanted to know what Johnny intended to do with all these things, but he only said, "Wait until tomorrow, then you shall see." He gathered up all the things which the cook had given him and carried them to the barn, placing them on a shelf in one corner, where he was sure no one would touch them and where they would be all ready for him to use the next morning. Christmas morning came, and as soon as he could, Johnny hurried out to the barn where stood the Christmas tree, which he was going to trim for all his pets. The first thing he did was to get a paper bag of oats. This he tied to one of the branches of the tree for Brownie the mare. Then he made up several bundles of hay and tied these to the other side of the tree, not quite so high up, where Whiteface, the cow, could reach them. And on the lowest branches, some more hay for Spotty, the calf. Next, Johnny hurried to the kitchen to get the things Annie had promised to save for him. She had plenty to give. With his arms and hands full, he went back to the barn. He found 3 lovely bones with plenty of meat on them. These he tied together to another branch of the tree for Rover, his big black dog. Under the tree, he placed the big wooden bowl and filled it well with potato peelings, rice, and meat left from yesterday's dinner. This was the full and tempting trough for Piggywig. Near this, he placed a bowl of milk for Pussy. On one plate, the salt for the pet lamb, and on another, the cornmeal for the dear little chickens. On the top of the tree, he tied a basket of nuts. These were for his pet squirrel. And I had almost forgotten to tell you of the bunch of carrots tied very low down, where soft white Bunny could reach them. When all was done, Johnny stood off a little way to look at this wonderful Christmas tree. Clapping his hands with delight, he ran to call Papa and Mama and Annie, and they all laughed aloud when they saw what he had done. It was the funniest Christmas tree they had ever seen. They were sure the pets would like the presents Johnny had chosen. Then there was a busy time in the barn. Papa and Mama and Annie helped about bringing in the animals, and before long, Brownie, Whiteface, Spotty, Rover, Piggywig, Pussy, Lambkin, the chickens, the squirrel, and Bunny, the rabbit, had been led each to his own Christmas breakfast on and under the tree. What a funny sight it was to see them all standing around looking happy and contented, eating and drinking with such an appetite. While watching them, Johnny had another thought, and he ran quickly to the house and brought out the new trumpet which Papa had given him for Christmas. By this time, the animals had all finished their breakfast, and Johnny gave a little toot on his trumpet as a signal that the festival was over. Brownie went, neighing and prancing, to her stall, and Whiteface walked demurely off with a bellow, which Spotty the calf, running at her heels, tried to imitate. The little lamb skipped bleating away. Piggywig walked off with a grunt. Pussy jumped on the fence with a mew. The squirrel still sat up in the tree cracking her nuts. Bunny hopped to her snug little quarters, while Rover, barking loudly, chased the chickens back to their coop. Such a hubbub of noises! Mama said it sounded as if they were all trying to say, "Merry Christmas to you, Johnny. Merry Christmas to all." The end of Christmas in the Barn. I hope you liked hearing about all of those animals' special surprise Christmas breakfast. Why don't we end our time together today with another Christmas carol? And this one is called Hark, the Herald Angels Sing. And if you know it, why don't you sing with me? Hark, the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled. Joyful all ye nations rise, join the triumph of the skies. With angelic hosts proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark, the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Thank you for joining me today. I hope I'll see you again tomorrow, and I hope you have a good day until then. Bye-bye. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share it with a friend. That not only encourages me, it also makes a big difference to my channel and helps others find videos they would enjoy too. Wishing you a joyful season and a happy day. I'll see you tomorrow.